So let's talk about your journey. Tell us a story how you left Nigeria and why you left your native country to move to the Western world to start your new life.
My story is a very how will I say it? It's not really that common because uh, when I finished schooling in Imo State University, my results were good, so I had many options. I went for internship and I worked with some renowned ophthalmologists. So during my time practicing, I noticed something about myself. I noticed that the normal practice, it was okay, but it was not actually what I really wanted with my life. I felt bored, sitting there and just talking to patients. They will come, I'll treat, they'll go. I do the same thing over and over again, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I knew that this is not something I would want to do for like a very extensive period in my life. So I started to think, what are the options? It was like I started to retrospect to understand who I am as a person. So yes, I have this degree, it is there, but my life is bigger than this degree. There should be another aspect of who John Major is. What can I do with my life? So I ventured into real estate. I studied real estate, and because of my little knowledge in real estate, it was not really a solid business. So I lost that. So I had a very major setback in Nigeria because I had some issues with the state government, over some allocations and pieces of property which I ventured my money into. So it was not really a very beautiful story. So it was like my finances were being crashed down from here to here. I had to start again. And at that moment, at that point in my life, I was also married. So it was very difficult juggling family life, children, work, and also your own personal, what you want to do with your life. So it was, yeah, it was so much for a young man. I think I was just 24 then. So it was so much. It was so much for me. So my traveling story started when I decided to take a leap of faith because I've not actually traveled out of the country. So the first place I traveled to was Greece. I went to Greece. I applied through this Schengen visa then. So
Right.
yeah, I traveled to Greece, and when I got there, it was like cultural shock. I've not seen fast trains. It was too much. The weather gave me chills. Moving from Africa to Europe,
It's a different
it's not.
ballgame.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. It's just like another world within where I'm coming from. So I always saw myself as someone who is educated because of the level of education that I had in Nigeria and how well my results were. But I found out that being in a different environment, you don't know anything. You see yourself asking questions, trying to, you spend a lot of time trying to translate because in Greece, they don't speak English. They
English,
only
that's
speak,
correct. Yes.
yeah. So I found myself translating a lot and a lot of things. So from Greece, I actually my visa was still valid. So I decided to make another trip. So I left Greece and I went to France, to Paris in France. Yeah. So that particular place blew my mind because the beauty of Paris. Oh my God, it was something else. So I think for the first uh, 4 months I spent in Europe, there was a lot of, how will I say it, mental shift that happened to me. I understood that life was bigger than maybe where I'm coming from. I had to uh, start afresh to relearn, even like, for example, I always used to call people sir. Okay, sir, thank you, sir. When I came here, it was a problem because if I asked someone, excuse me, sir, sometimes they look at me as Why are you greeting me with that prefix and all
Correct.
those things?
Or the one that's very common, they'll say ma. They'll say yes,
Ma,
ma.
yes, ma,
Yes,
ma,
yes.
ma. I did that a lot, and most times I noticed that they didn't really see it as respect. Sometimes, they look at it as like, come on, man. No,
Yeah,
my name is Doris. Call me Doris, and you are
that's right.
calling a something-year-old woman by her first name.
That's right. Yeah.
Like,
That's the cultural difference. Yeah.
it's a lot.
That's
So,
cool.
but within this period, I started to make contact. I started networking. I started to work, and thank God for personal gifts. Making friends is not difficult for me. So that was the place I found the friend that helped me secure this job in Germany. So this is just like an overview of how I finally
So,
moved.
so